I'm doing now somewhat new thinking about men and women and the differences between men and women. And I'm seeking to understand how and why men are different to women and what the reasons for that difference is. And so this is new thinking, and I'm thinking as I go. So I don't have well organized thoughts. This is entirely new thinking. And initially I'm thinking men tend to be more productive, more inventive, more creative than women. They're more innovative, they design more, they create more, and are more productive than women. And when I think about why this is, why it is that you have your house and your car and your computer and pavements and your telephone, television, all of these things result from the work of men and the genius of men, the hard work and the productivity of men. So when I think about what this is, I'm thinking this difference in productivity and intellectual performance is not down to any intellectual superiority of men. I think women and men have the same intelligence and the same intellectual capacity. So it isn't a basic difference in capability. I think it's more about inclination and desire. And initially I'm thinking it might come down to the fact that women produce children. Women manufacture human beings. And this amazing ability could possibly be influencing men in how men view themselves. So it could be that men are, in a sense, trying to make themselves as important as women, as valuable as women, by being productive in as many ways as they can think of, so as to make themselves as valuable as women are in producing children. So the value of women is inestimable. So men have a lot of work to do to try and make themselves equally, I suppose, as valuable as women. So men tend to be very inventive and productive, very creative, extremely hardworking. And so men produce a lot and think a lot, and they have great desire to produce as much as possible. And I'm thinking initially that this is down to a desire within men to make themselves as valuable as women. Because women are incredibly valuable because of their ability to produce children, to manufacture human beings. And so men have to work very hard to make themselves as valuable as women as much as possible. So I do think this desire is what sets men apart, rather than any basic ability or intellectual capacity. I don't think that's the difference. I think the difference is motivation and desire to produce, as I say, to make themselves as valuable as women. Because the value of women, as I say, is inestimable in their ability to produce children. So men do have a lot of work to do to make themselves as valuable as women. And so men do tend to be very productive, very inventive, very creative. And so men make themselves as valuable as women as much as possible. I think this is an interesting way of looking at things and does help explain why men tend to be more productive in the world than women. So as I said, this is new thinking to an extent, and I am thinking as I go, so I'm not organised in my thinking. So I do have some work to do, but initially I am thinking along these lines that men are seeking to make themselves as valuable as women. I don't think men are aware of this necessarily. It's more of an automatic behavior, it seems.